It's never been a better time than right now to start your very own online business. But if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what the best practices are, what the mistakes to avoid, you can really go down a road where you're doing a lot of busy work and getting nowhere. I am going to share with you the atomic bomb of mistakes that you need to avoid before you start your online business. You don't want to miss this. We're going to do this right now. How's it going, Nez Nation? Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to say one thing really quick before I get into the number one mistake that I made that you need to avoid when you're starting your online business. I've got a ton of tutorials and a ton of videos on this channel. If you're interested in learning how to earn more, grow faster, stress less, work from home, remote jobs, start, grow, and scale your very own freelance side hustle online business, you got to click subscribe down below and make sure you click that like button because it just really helps us out. Thank you so much. Okay. I am so frustrated with myself. It's something I've been banging my head up against the wall. I'm just going to get real conversational in this video because I'm just going to be spilling it straight from my chest. Complete, raw, unabashed, unfiltered truth. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You got to understand the mindset. One of the things that I always try to advocate on my channel is that this stuff is not easy. It's so unbelievably feasible. The potential, the opportunity is remarkable. And I meant what I said at the top of this video. I think right now, as of this recording, this coming out, I mean, it's going to just get even better in the future. If you're watching this in 2022, 23, 24, I truly believe this is the best time right now to start a side hustle, start an online business, start monetizing expertise. I've got tons. There's so many opportunities right now. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes, but I don't want this channel to be coconuts and yachts. And what do I mean by coconuts and yachts? You see this all the time. I know you've gotten ads before. I know you've seen these videos before where you see some 18-year-old who barely has 2 zits on his forehead telling you that you can make millions a month creating, starting, and growing your own online business. All you need to do is subscribe to his free course, free masterclass, or whatever, and you're just going to be a millionaire. That's what I call coconuts and yachts syndrome. You see these Instagrammers, on nice fancy boats in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by, Victoria's Secret models being fed grapes. Look, there's such a beautiful opportunity for you to quit your 9-to-5. There's such a beautiful opportunity to do what you love, do what you were meant to do, discover your purpose. But it takes a ton of work. And I just want to say that at the outset. And you're going to make a ton of mistakes. The mindset for running and growing and scaling an online business is you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adapt because you're going to have your good months, you're going to have your bad months, you're going to have your terrible months, you're going to have your good, the bad, the ugly. And if you don't have the DNA for that, it's hasta la pasta. You might as well forget about it. Go back to something that you think may be secure. And I have nothing against 9-to-5. I have nothing against W-2 earners. I love W-2 earners. But, there is, if there is such a thing as security, it's definitely more secure than being an entrepreneur. But the freedom, the lifestyle, the ability to set your own terms, set your own schedules, if you just live for that like I do, and that means so much to you, the work is nothing. Meaning, you'll be proud and happy to do the work. Okay, without further ado, this is the biggest, craziest, nutso whack job mistake that yours truly made early on, years ago, that I wish I would have avoided. And you need to avoid this. In order to grow, in order to make money doing this online thing, in order to really be successful, over the long term, have longevity, lastingness about your business, you got to have customers. You got to have an audience. You got to have access to those customers. You got to be able to communicate with them. You got to be able to share to them. Yes, dare I say it, you got to be able to sell to them. Well, if you don't have access to them and if you don't build a system or process where you can consistently get a hold of them, you're in a lot of trouble. And so the biggest mistake that I made when I first started out was I completely denied the importance of building your email list. Whoever tells you that email marketing is dead, whoever tells you that building an email list is from the past or retro, is not a successful entrepreneur or business owner. They're just not. I mean, pure and simple. Ask any of your favorite entrepreneurs, ask any successful business owner, especially even, forget online, even brick and mortar. You ask any successful business owner, accessibility, being able to communicate to them, being able to reach them, owning your own audience is essential. So if you haven't thought about building and growing your email list and what are the best practices and strategies to do that, you're not going to succeed long term. Look, YouTube is fantastic. I love YouTube. LinkedIn is fantastic. I've got over 20,000 followers. I've got over 200 recommendations from actual clients, the most in my niche, in the personal branding, executive career coaching niche. These are awesome platforms, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. These are fantastic platforms, but you got to understand something. If you're just building on the platform, if you're thinking, well, I've got my subscribers, I've got my followers, I've got my connections, they'll be there. You're renting on somebody else's property. You're renting on somebody else's property. This is so important. God forbid, and I'm not going to be so, apocalyptic. Like you hear some of these people say, what if YouTube dies tomorrow? What if LinkedIn stops working tomorrow? What if Facebook shuts down? It's not going to happen, okay? It could happen, but it's like a 1% chance of happening. I mean, these platforms, if you really think about it, they've only been around for a couple of decades, maybe 15 years tops. And so, they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I won't say something as apocalyptic as, they may leave tomorrow. YouTube may shut down tomorrow. It's not going to happen. It's very highly unlikely. But what is highly likely is that they can dictate their terms and policies. And if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on YouTube, that happens a lot. They change their monetization policies. They change their terms of services. And this happens on a lot of these platforms where you can really lose access to your audience. Here's another thing too that's really, really important to think. Why building an email list is so monumental. By the way, if you want to see an entire tutorial, I'll leave a link in the description to the platform that I use to manage and run my email list. I'll leave that below. Right now, currently, I'm using ConvertKit. Just full disclosure, there's no sponsorship, no ad, no promotion, no brand deal, anything like that. I'll leave a link to them in the description if you want to try. There's a free trial that you can use, and if you're interested, that's the one that I use. You got to also think about this, that even if you've got 100,000 subscribers or what have you, followers or whatever, every time you want to reach them, aka anytime you put out content or publish something, not 100% of your subscribers, 100% of your audience does not get the notification when you send out something. And I've got data to prove this. So, you may think, well, no, why do I need to build an email list? I've got all these subscribers and followers on my socials. It's just like a list, right? I've got all these people who are engaged and what have you, but you don't have access to them at all times. Plus, when you put out content, it doesn't always reach them. They don't always get a notification. And this is, something that I don't want to get too deep into. You can look this up if you want, if you don't believe me. But, they don't always get the notification that you put out content. So accessibility, reach, engagement, ownership of your audience. My friends, you need to do this more than anything. Start right now coming up with a methodology, a strategy to start building your email list. I'll tell you really, really quickly what I do. I use something very, very simple with the email platform that I told you about earlier, something called lead magnets. Lead magnets are you give something away for free in exchange that it actually warrants them giving you their email address, right? So I'll give away a free training, a free guide, a free checklist, a free masterclass or whatever. A lead magnet, something that draws them in, that's completely free, that the only transaction, the only exchange is that you want their email address in exchange for that content, that transformational change, whatever it is you're offering them. I use paid traffic. I use organic traffic. I use a lot of different tools. And if you want me to go really, really in depth with that, leave a comment down below and say, hey, Nez, I would love a full-on tutorial, full step-by-step, how to start, build, and grow an email list. I'm happy to do that. I haven't done one yet on my channel. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. Just say, yes, Nez, I want that. And maybe even specifically, what is the biggest question you have when it comes to email list building and email marketing? Because it's one thing to build a list. What do you do when you have the audience? You got to be able to communicate with them in a compelling, powerful way that gets them to take action, right? So that's a whole nother kind of aspect of building and growing an email list. But I can't stress this enough. It is the most important thing you need to be considering in your business, because it is an audience that you own, that you have access to. People open their emails all the time. People think that nobody checks their emails and it's just basically spam. It's not spam. It depends on how you do it. It depends on how warm, how engaged, and how aligned the audience that you target with your email marketing is with your brand, with your business. My wife is a perfect example of this. I use my wife, who's a billion times smarter than me, a billion times more talented than me all the time when it comes to this. And she's like, I love getting those emails that say, hey, 20% off. We got a brand new fall line, a brand new winter line. Hey, spring's coming soon. Check out these new deals. She loves getting those emails, and she opens them 90% of the time. I don't have the exact stats and numbers because I just really wanted to get on here and tell you need to start like yesterday, building your email list like yesterday. But there's some amazing stats of open rates, etc. And, this channel is all about helping you to discover your purpose, communicate your message so you can impact your audience. And this is something you do not want to overlook. Start thinking about building, growing your email list, and then all the art and science that goes beyond that. And again, I will create videos on this. Maybe I'll just do it even on my own volition, but I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you know that I respond to all the comments personally? Not somebody else in my business, not a team member, nobody. I respond to all the comments personally. So please leave the comments down below. And for the love of God, subscribe. I mean, why wouldn't you subscribe to this channel? It's like the most amazing, awesome, free information. It's like having your very own business university in your eyeballs and earballs. We do have a podcast too. I'll leave links in the description down below. But subscribe, hit that bell notification, and smash us a like. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out these other videos, because these other videos are just super, super, super valuable, and they really relate to what I'm talking about right here. You're going to get a lot out of these videos right here. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.